Yeah, sorry about yesterday. Our internet's been on the fritz, and so we had the people come out and look at it.
That's okay.
And it's working a lot better now, so
Good.
shouldn't run into any issues. So I made a mini PowerPoint that I'll share
Okay.
with you. Let me just get to it. I was thinking maybe did you make any sketches?
What I did is I found some concepts online. I was looking through some other mobile apps that have similar reviews of restaurants and things like that, trying to get what they have in them. And I picked up on kind of 3 apps. One I'd never heard of, but I liked their view of it. I can show them to you. I'm working on compiling all of the ideas into one like picture,
Right.
but each one kind of has their own thing that I liked about their app that I think we should include.
Okay. So I just shared that Google slideshow with you.
Okay. Okay, I'm opening it.
Okay.
First problem, people like food. Okay. Okay.
And I won't be hurt if you decide to add some things, take some things out, change some things.
I think one thing I would add is that allow sorting by location and category, I guess. And so
That's a good point.
so that way they can like say these are the categories I want to see, and then it'll pull up a map around their location.
That's perfect.
And then it can even tie into Google Maps or something and give them directions right off the bat.
That sounds good.
And it looks like, in terms of the filter thing, where it's like ask um, what kind of food people like inputting user preference and then auto select. There was one app that has that. They have like an initial, it's like a 5-question setup,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, which cuisine do you enjoy, and it'll show like a list of all these different cuisines, and you select as many as you want. And so that's one thing we could do, just have that initial setup. And
Nice.
once it's got like, we can set up our own questions too. I mean, it could just be, what cuisine do you like, or whatever.
Right.
Or yeah, and then it's like from 1 to 5, how much spice can you take, or something? I don't know. So, and that was in an app called Nara, Nara. That was the one that I hadn't heard of.
Was that a mobile web app?
Yeah,
Or
it was. I think it's just a mobile app
it's a native app?
on. Let me see. What is this? It looks like it's on Android. Called Nara. Like I said, I'd never heard of it.
N-A-R-A?
Yeah, Nara. And then the other thing.
Personalized recommendations?
Sorry?
Personalized recommendations?
Yeah.
That's what it says on here.
So that's kind of their main focus. The other one that kind of hit the other marks was the Zagat app, the Zagat. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, right.
And that one kind of hit everything else. I didn't see, like, I don't have an Android, so I can't download these apps to see them.
Right.
So I wasn't able to see what functionality it has other than what I could pull up in pictures and read online. But it looked like it was just kind of like a Yelp for food.
Mm-hmm.
So it had the map function, it had categories, it had reviews. I don't remember if I saw individual plates, though, and recommendations for what to eat, other than what people wrote in the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Huh. Looks like that Nara app uses a few different APIs. Open table.
I figured like pretty much all of them have kind of the same design, so to speak. So they have like the menu. It's like most mobile apps. They have the menu and search bars at the top, and then they pull down to like a side menu if you click on a certain spot. But the main focuses are like, I think for both of them it was like on the top it had a search function right in the middle. The left side was like opening the menu for like your login if you have a login, and then like selecting different cuisine, and then on the right was like filters next to the search bar.
Right.
And so I figure we just design the app like that.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
But right now I'm going in Paint. That's my design
Nice.
expertise there. And just going to recreate those points from the PowerPoint into 5 different screens. Now, one thing that we'll have to think about for, I know this is an issue that I've had with iPhones, is that most iPhones, unlike Android and Windows, don't have a back button. And so we'd have to program a actual button into the web app for anyone that uses an iPhone to be able to go back.
What do you mean they don't have a...
So
I know they don't have like a hardware back button, but all the browsers have a back button.
Oh, that's true. I guess they would go in through a browser. Never mind that.
Anyway, so I know the teacher who kind of designed the online course.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him a bit about it, and he said, and this is his idea of good mobile app design, which is just one man's opinion, and he thinks his opinion is superior to everyone else's. So take it with a grain of salt. He said that good mobile apps have only one screen. You don't move from screen to screen, and you just use transitions to bring stuff in and out.
Okay.
So that's what he said, and I think that's why there's a huge focus on CSS3 transitions and animations in this course.
Okay, so for him, it would be more, instead of making multiple web pages, incorporate everything into one web page?
Exactly, yeah. So it's just one web page that when you click on something, it brings...
It pulls up an element rather than pulling up
exactly.
a whole
Slides like some stuff that's in a div and puts it somewhere.
Okay, so we'd have like, okay. So we could probably program that. I gotta think. I mean, CSS can do it. I think JavaScript can do something similar to that.
Yeah. I think CSS3 transitions and animations can do a lot of that stuff for us. Yeah. But we have to kind of spark those in JavaScript.
Awesome. So transitions, okay. So it'd be one page. So then we'd need to incorporate either buttons or locations where the person would activate each individual element that they want.
Right.
So in essence, for when they start up the app, it would be a single page, but the first element it would auto bring up, we'd have to put in some function to read that this is somebody's first visit in order to do like the recommendations, or we could just do the recommendation thing, or their preference. We could just do the preferences ahead of time, or just put it as a element at the top that just says choose your preference, and that's just what you start off with, even if you've come before.
Right. Unless, I think I was reading something about this. I think it said something like you can actually have local data storage like that persists between browser sessions.
Sure.
So we could probably store that.
And cookies?
I think cookies was a form of doing that. I think there were even other ways of doing it.
Let's see, I know we can. There is a way, at least I think on the server side, where you can record their IP address, but then they just move into a different router and their IP address changes. But
local storage. Let's see.
Then the cache, I guess you could cache save it.
Limitations of cookies. Oh. Web storage picks up where cookies left off. Session storage and local storage. So session storage is only available within the browser tab or window session. Local storage is kept between browser sessions.
Right. That's like when you, like, websites will save what you've entered into their username. Or no, wait, that is the browser saves that, right? Or the browser saves that on local storage, I guess, technically.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
From that information. Okay, let me start over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to go even more basic because my paint skills are lacking apparently. Let me. I'm just gonna hand draw it, but because I was like, how do I draw in paint? How do I make it look like a sub menu? I could do it. It just looks sloppy. So in terms of like what the user uses, it would be one page, but we could have like separate pages that hold our like terms of use stuff and things like that that most users don't look at. Or would we also try and incorporate that stuff into the single page design?
Uh, in theory, it really wouldn't be hard to implement it in the same page.
Yeah, since we
Like, just when they click on it, it would pop up
yeah.
within
Because I mean,
the
once
same
I guess
window.
once we've made the frame for one of our elements, we can just literally copy that frame and then just put content into it,
Exactly.
stick it in one of our divs.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Let me look at some of my concept pictures that I have. So let's see, what different kinds of elements do we need? I think the first one would need to be like at least a menu element, either to select from preferences to a different element, so that way we don't. So the main screen would be for the content that the element pulls up, but
So
the
I was
elements
thinking,
themselves would need a
have you
menu.
ever have you ever been on a mobile page that has a um, like drawer navigation? You know, where it just pops out to the left.
Yeah.
So I was just looking into that. I think that'd be a cool feature to have in there for our
So for
menu and
that, we'd have like in the top left, we'd have like the three horizontal lines that everyone knows means there's a menu if
menu.
I click on
Yep, exactly.
it. Okay. So that's where our kind of main elements would be held in there, like map view, filters. I guess. Hmm. I'm trying to think. What elements should we have in that menu? Should we just try and put the broader elements in there, or because I'm thinking like for restaurant ratings and reviews, those elements would be held on the frame that contains each individual restaurant.
Right. I'd have to agree with that.
So So I guess in that menu, let's see. I think the menu should be like come with kind of the broader scope, like American food, Chinese food, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
we
then we
could.
can have like another more specific menu for that would be our filter on like the right hand side. So if they're
Uh-huh.
already in a search, they can go on the right hand side and be like, I want to look at restaurants that have American, Chinese, or Japanese or whatever. And then they'd specify with that so you could filter more in. But the left
Right.
hand side would just do each individual category.
Yeah.
And then the right hand menu would do whatever, the more specific ones.
Yeah. That sounds good.
So I guess that would be the left hand side's the primary menu. I'm trying to think of the terminology from my CIT 160 class. Secondary. I know this sounds dumb, but I think which way does the magnifying glass for like a search option? Which way does the magnifying glass face?
Let me check real quick.
I'm getting
To the
too
left is
confused.
what I have on my iPhone.
Internet Explorer has to the right, but it's Internet
Nobody
Explorer.
follows Internet Explorer, yeah.
I don't know if I can trust it.
I also think it kind of depends. Because on both of those, that little search is on the left of the text that you'd enter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
And then, like, let's say when a person opens up the app, so I'm going to make this as kind of our main page, our index.php, if you will.
Okay.
What do we want to have come up the very first, like, window? Should it just be, man, I can't even think. Let me look at, where's my phone? I know I've got some food apps. What do they have come up? Because we decided not to do a login system, right? And just have it totally open where people can review.
Yeah, I think for the scope of this class, that would be easiest.
Do I have any that don't require a login? Let me see. My food app just showed like really delicious looking food. It's like sausage that was like cut up and then they put fried eggs on top of it.
Nice.
That's another thing we could add is, oh, you know what? Okay. Another thing we could have is we could add recipes. So if there's like a recommended dish, that could have like underneath that recommended dish, it just has like some generic like Google search kind of thing that pulls from that recipes from like some. We could even go to like recipe.com and pull the API from that to provide potential recipes if they want to make it at home.
Yeah. That would be intense.
So that way, it's like you look at a restaurant, it says, you know, this is a dish that the restaurant has, and then
Here's a
people say, you know,
simple.
recommend it, and here's a way you can make it at home, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh, restaurants might sue us. Okay. Okay, I've got some. Looks like I've got one app that when you pull up, the first page it has is categories, so it shows like blocks of categories you can choose from on the main page when you first go in.
Mm-hmm.
So it like has you start right away with choosing what to do. The other one I have shows featured food of the day, I guess. I'd prefer not to do that because then we'd have to have featured food of the day. And it'd just mean extra. I mean, yeah. Let's see. We could also just have the preference selection come up right away. So like that way, you're like, and it just has like a short list of preferences,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be like the start page. And then once you put those in, then like it'll populate with restaurants nearby or something.
Right. That sounds good.
Okay, let's do preferences then. How detailed, man? I need to look at the assignment real quick because I might be being too detailed with my drawings. Let me see here. And do we want to have a so I guess that first top part with the menus and the filter and the search, that would be our header, so to speak. Do we want to have like a footer underneath, or do we want to just forsake the footer and put it in like our menu where it has like, terms of use and all that stuff? I don't even think we really have to make terms of use for this class, but
Yeah. I think it's perfectly fine to have it in with the regular. I mean, I wouldn't imagine it would be very big anyway.
yeah, it would probably take up maybe like, I don't know, like a tenth of the screen or something on the bottom.
And that's when the user actually gets there from scrolling.
Yes. And that could have like our separate pages that really have nothing to do with the app, but it's just kind of standard
Like
procedure, like the about
us.
It's like the things nobody actually cares about, but they're always there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking too much about it. Like I'm like, should I make separate preferences for Thai, Chinese, and Korean, or just make it? I think I'm just gonna make it Asian in my picture because I don't think I have to be as precise.
Yeah. I don't think we need to worry about that too much right now.
Right. And now I'll make squiggles for everything else. Okay. So that's our primary page. Now all the elements. Yeah, I've already forgotten the elements. Give me a minute. Index. And then once their preferences have been put in, it'll just automatically generate. That means we'd have to put in some algorithm to match what their preferences are with what we have in our database. But I'm sure there's probably some generic algorithm for that you can find online.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, there's the menu. Search and filter. Right. You know what? I just thought of something for like the way the restaurants come up, making that into an element instead of each a separate page. It's kind of like in, is it Google or it's one of them? I think it's Best Buy actually. It's either it's Best Buy, Walmart, one of the two. They have like a quick view, and instead of actually going to the web page that holds all the information for the item, it actually pulls up this subscreen on Walmart.com that shows like basic information about the item that you're looking at. And so that's what we can do with the restaurants is like once you click on one, it opens up its sub page, so to speak, I guess to say.
Right.
Element, and that would have like a function where it's like you can rate it right there with stars if you've been there, or it shows what the current star rating is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess first would be show the current star rating, then it would allow you to put stars and review it, and then underneath that it would say like dishes, and then it's like recommended dishes there. And if you click on like the number underneath the number of reviews, then that'll show you like that'll pull down more of the element to show the reviews, at least the most recent or the best or whatever, however you want to sort that. But so like right off the bat, I'd say for each recommendation it pulls up, just show the review count, the restaurant's name, and then like a picture of one of their dishes. Or would you say like a picture of the outside of the restaurant?
That's a good question. What does Yelp?
Because I've seen both, where it's like one will show the picture of the restaurant from the outside, one will show like their signature dish. But pretty much all of them, when they sort them, and they say like this is towards your preference or whatever, and then it'll have like the number of reviews and how many stars they have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of debating like distance. We can put in a thing that shows the distance in the bottom right or something. So that way it shows them like what the restaurant's rated and how far it is if they care about distance.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I'm just going to put picture because I'm not sure what we're going to use for their pictures.
Looks like
because I think it would completely depend upon what we get from the other websites that we're using.
Yeah. I think Yelp will automatically give us a picture.
Yeah.
To put there. Don't know how relevant the picture would be, but.
Right. Okay. And then I figure the search function, it would just be, I'm kind of making it so that the way I'm designing it in the top menu, it'll just say I eat food, so the name of the app. Right next to it, there'll be a clickable magnifying glass. And if you click on it, then the I eat food gets replaced by a text box for you to type in.
Okay.
So that way they know what they're in, and whenever they want to, they can just search, and it'll won't interfere with anything else. Okay. So I've already made like the first two, the index page where they pick their preference, and then the next page where it shows their preference. I'm not sure how much. I'm looking at this, and it says just kind of an initial user interface design. I'm not sure how far that goes, because it also says to mention pull-down menus, pop-up or pull-down lists, strong use of text and lists of words, dependence on text entry by user, hiding options, and so forth. Oh, wait a minute. It says, for example, pull-down menus, pop-up or pull-down lists, the strong use of text and list of words, dependence on text entry by user, and generally hiding options and information from the user are bad mobile UI choices. Okay. What's a pull-down menu? Is that where like you click and pull it down, or?
Yeah, maybe.
Pop-up and pull-down lists. So it's like if there's a lot of reading, I think is what a lot of it is about. Like if you have to do a lot of text entry and stuff, it should be mostly clickable, I assume he's saying. Oh.
Where'd you find that stuff on mobile interface design that you were just telling me about?
Oh, about what's good and bad?
Yeah.
It's on the design presentation instructions.
Oh.
Yes. So that's why I was like, oh, good. Okay. So I think we're okay with everything we've said so far. Maybe. I don't think pull-down menus is the same as what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I am concerned about where it says general hiding options and information from the user are bad. But I'd say my main concern with that is I need to find some way to design the filter side. So that way they can filter like based on view and stuff like that. I just made it 3 horizontal lines on the right, but I don't know if that's not going to tell the user that, hey, this is filtered.
It's the filter. The filter is like a funnel, right?
Oh, that's right. Make it the actual picture. Let me do that. Ow! Dang, I just stabbed myself with my
Uh,
pencil.
wow, that sounds fun. Ouch.
Okay, funnel. Okay, that'll be good. I made that picture really basic. I just like put in a search for in and out into a text box and just wrote results of search and put arrows down the page.
Nice.
Okay. So now this will be as if the menu is open. So I think usually once you open the menu, it actually pushes over the menu at the top. Shows kind of the side thing. Okay, I think that's enough pictures. I've made like 6. And it includes like the preferences at the beginning, the main page after the preferences, how search results would show, the primary menu on the right, the filter menu on the no, primary menu on the left, filter
Okay.
menu on the right,
Good.
and the way that the restaurant element would appear once clicked.
Sounds good to me.
And I went ahead for the primary menu. That's where I put the map view button, so that if they want to view it by the map, they just go to the main menu and just view it by map.
Okay.
So. Okay, I'm going to use my phone. I've got an app that can scan these as PDFs, and then I'll email them to myself.
Nice. Like a
So
sweet
give me a
app.
minute. Okay, I'm just touching them up right now, and then I'll
Okay.
submit them to Google Doc. might need to cheat a little because it makes it a PDF. I can't edit it too well. So let me see if I can't use some snipping tools here and cheat a bit.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how this looks now. I'm going to try and insert. Hmm. Okay, that's what I have for the UI design. It looks like 2 of the pictures didn't come out as well, but
Yeah, I think it's good enough.
gets the point across. So are we supposed to record this, or?
I believe so. He didn't make it very clear, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm like trying to figure out, like, do we submit a saved video or a link? Oh, a link to the video maybe?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, submit a link to your team's design presentation here. So, we'd need to just, I guess we'd do like a Hangouts on air and just share the screen while viewing the presentation and
Yep,
just click
I would
through
think
it.
so. So we need to talk about which slides we'll take.
Okay.
So you can take your
The UI
oh,
design.
you can take the UI design page, yeah. I'll take the solution page. We can just alternate back and forth if you want.
Sure.
So if you want to introduce, this is I eat food. Then I'll go to the problem. You can do the audience. I'll do solution. You do UI design, and I'll do development methodology.
All right, sounds good.
So do we need to do a new Hangouts on air then?
I think so. This would be our team meeting for the presentation. Unless, I mean, are we able to edit the video? Because then we can just
You
like
know,
take the
what we
specific.
could do is we could have it pre-scrubbed to the actual presentation part
Oh yeah.
when
Like
we
if
submit
we,
it.
isn't there like a way in YouTube where you can send like a shareable link and it'll actually just pull up the video and start at a
Start and
specific
end at
time?
a certain time. Yeah.
I don't know how to
I
do
can
that.
figure out how to do that before we actually resort to that, though. Let me pull
Yeah.
up.
Man, now I've got to surf YouTube. Darn it. No.
Let's see. Yeah, I have to use scrub a video.
Oh, here we go. So if you're on YouTube, if you like go forward and you click on the little ball on YouTube and right click it, it actually says get video URL at current time.
The little ball on YouTube.
Yeah, you know how you change where the time in the video? And it has like a little, well, it's not a ball, it's a circle.
Oh, yeah.
If you right click on that, it gives you, let me see if it works, because I just right clicked and got the URL. Let's see if this takes me to 7 minutes and 30 seconds, or if it just takes me to the video. Yeah, it took me to 7 minutes and 30 seconds. It started the video for like a second and then went over to where I specified.
I ended at a certain time. Share YouTube video with specific start and end time. Yeah, you can tell it when to end too. So we just need to get, let's see, let me test that. Oh, it says we're live. I still see a lovely. Oh.
This entire time.
Okay. Well.
All right, so we can do it.
Yep.
We just wing it. And then
That sounds good to me.
How do you start the presentation in this thing?
So I've got that. So there's a
because I'm like
button.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we're ready to do this. We just have to, I need to share my screen. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Is it full screen now?
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start then.
Oh, whoops. Let me try to move that out of the way. There we go.
Oh, that thing. There we go. So you just need to not move your mouse, or
can you not see? Do you see the thing that says?
Yeah, I see the thing, the little thing in the bottom left.
No. Do you see the thing that says Google Plus Hangouts is sharing your screen?
No, I don't.
Oh, perfect. So it doesn't matter where that is.
Supposedly, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Take it away.
Welcome to our presentation of I Eat Food for CIT 261. My name is Jeremy Pratt.
My name is Travis Baker.
And we'll be showing you the reasons for and how this app solves many problems.
So let's look at those problems. People like food. When you move to a new place, you don't really know where to go. The problem is that you can try to find a place, but it can be really difficult unless you have locals' opinions. They're the people that really know the area and know what to eat. But even if you do find a place to go, you don't quite know what to eat. And when you do decide what to eat, you never know if that's actually going to be any good or not. So this is the problem that we're facing.
And the people with this problem are mostly people that are new move-ins. They move into a town and they want to discover, where is going to be their new hangout in this town? Where are they going to go to eat on a regular basis? And so in order for them to know that, they need this app. This is also for people that already live in a neighborhood and are excited about these new places and want to share that information, share what they've come to know by living in a specific location. And just in general, this app is for people that just like food, which is everyone.
So what will this app do? This app will do a number of things to help all of these users. It will allow ratings for restaurants, but one of the things that it will do is it will limit who can rate a restaurant to those who are local to an area, as well as for reviews. This way, you don't have the person who stopped in a place and thinks their food is good because they went there one time and they don't know anywhere else in the area. So that's one of the issues that we're trying to solve by limiting the number of people who can rate and review a place. We also want to have a list of recommended restaurants by an area. What will happen here is people will have preferences that they input, and those preferences that they input will allow us to show recommended restaurants based on locals' reviews. We'll also have a list of recommended dishes for each restaurant, solving the issue of, I found a place, now what do I eat there? We'll also be able to sort by restaurant type and location. You'll be able to see everything that is in the area in a map view. And like we said, the user will be able to input their preferences. And what we'll also have is if they just want a quick dinner or something, they can put that preference in, and we'll auto-select something for them to go to.
So our basic user interface design is going to be based on most other similar app designs, from having the header part of the app being kind of what the app is. It'll have a primary menu towards the left, a secondary filter menu on the right, and a search function in the middle. And of course, the footer will contain that information that most people don't really look at, but is necessary to be there. It's kind of standard operating procedures for that. So the first page that comes in will have the user choose their options. So whether they like Asian food, American, kind of what their price range is, all that stuff will be taken in first, and then it'll go into a recommendation. So kind of the main idea is that in the primary menu, that would contain most of the limited interaction functions of the app, such as pulling up the map or selecting a general category, most things that can be done with a single finger touch. The secondary menu would be more involved, allowing them to filter through all of their categories, choose what price range they want, the distance that they want, all those kind of nitpicky things that the user would have to deal with anyway. We have further concept art that can be seen of all those individual elements, and those will be provided on our community page, or you can click here on the presentation, which will also be posted on our community page.
So for our development methodology, Agile is obviously the way to go in today's world. It's just a much more efficient way of doing things, and for us, we chose to use Scrum. Really the main reason being is because we've both used Scrum before, we're comfortable with it, and it's widely used in the industry. And so we want to be able to be well prepared to go out into the industry and start developing software. And if most people are using Scrum, we figured we might as well start with that now. And that's our presentation. That is I Eat Food. Thank you for joining us. That's all I have.
The end. Yeah. Okay. I'll if you want to work on the video and posting the link, I'll go ahead and post all of this, like the presentation and everything, to our community page so that they can look at the presentation from there and the UI design and all that.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll work on getting that video to be the length.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't think there's anything else, is there?
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks a ton.
For sure.
Talk to you next week.
We'll see ya.
Bye.